What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm down at Maserati Charlotte getting to check out the 2021 Maserati Quattroporte S Gransport. Huge shout out to them for providing this car for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. That will be down in the description. This model here is finished off in narrow and it has an MSRP right around $120,000. Let's go ahead and start off today's review by jumping up underneath the hood, where you'll find the 3-liter twin-turbo V6 engine. This is paired with the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission, and it pumps out 424 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque. This model is rear-wheel drive. It weighs in around 4,100 pounds, but it'll do 0 to 60 in just under 5 seconds, up to its top speed of 178 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 21.1 gallons, you'll expect to see around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 25 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 124.8 inches. Its overall length is 207 inches. It has a width of 77 and a height of 58 inches. With all those specs out of the way, now we can go ahead and jump into the exterior walk around on the Quattroporte. So I'm going to start front and center with the Trident logo. You'll see it has a really nice design to it, and there's a forward-facing camera on the upper left of that logo. You'll also notice the vertical slats have a two-tone design to them, and they're evenly spaced, so this is going to provide maximum airflow to that turbocharged engine. And you'll also notice there is another mesh grille just behind that. You'll see there's more of that mesh in the lower section of the bumper, along with on both sides. We have all the parking sensors running throughout the bumper as well, and really nice contoured lines. I love this shape right here. You can see the front section of the bumper meets it nicely, and we just have some really aggressive lines running throughout it. Making our way up to the headlights now, this has adaptive LED headlights along with DRLs. Those take up the top strip of the housing itself, and they have a really nice sleek design which just matches the front end nicely. You'll see there's really nice contoured lines coming down the hood, and they even extend on the front bumper all the way to the top section of the grille here. And you'll see there's a chrome trim piece on the upper section of the grille, along with a Maserati badge right in the center. Making our way to the side profile now of the Quattroporte, we're gonna start off with these wheels. They measure 20 inches, but this does have a staggered setup, so they're 8.5 inches wide up front and 10.5 in the rear. They have a really nice design to them, finished off in gloss black. So you can see the theme on this model is blacked out everything, gives it a very cool look. You'll see just behind the wheels, however, are the calipers painted red, so that's a really nice contrast. You'll also notice a few chrome trim pieces on the front quarter panel. We have the Gransport badge along with 3 heat extraction vents. Really nice to see that. Up top, this has a sunroof as well. And then making our way back to the side mirrors, they are power folding. They feature the integrated turn signal, and new for 2021 is the camera system. I will show that later on in this video. So we have a camera underneath each side mirror, which is really nice to see. And then last up, you'll see the chrome Maserati badge just behind the rear glass, and then very clean lines running down the side just to give it a great looking profile. And last up, finishing off in the rear, you'll see there's really nice contoured lines in the trunk lid, and all of the badges are finished off in chrome. You'll also notice the chrome trim piece separating Maserati from the backup camera as well. In the middle section of the bumper, we have all the parking sensors, and then down in the lower section, you'll see the diffusers finished off in black, along with the quad-tip dual exhaust. Before we go ahead and take a look at the interior now, I'm gonna go ahead and lock the vehicle and double tap on this button on the key fob. This does have remote start, which is a really nice feature. Works first try every time, so on a cold day like today, you can get your Maserati up and running, which is really nice to see. If you double tap on this again, it will automatically shut off. And then with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, all I have to do is grab on the door handle and it will automatically unlock, letting us take a look at this beautiful door panel now. You can see it's completely covered in black leather, along with red stitching running along the armrest, which is really nice to see. We have a piano black trim piece above that, along with chrome leading to the release handle. You can see the memory seating adjustments as well. And then this does have a Harman Kardon sound system, a little bit of storage space in the lower section of the door. And then right in front of the grab handle, we have all of the window controls along with the side mirror adjustments. And then making our way to the interior, you'll see Maserati down on the door sill. And we can go ahead and take a look at these black leather seats. You can see the Maserati badge up in the headrest, along with the red stitching. These are heated seats as well. They have a really nice design to them. And then all the adjustments down on the side are also finished off in aluminum. And now once inside with my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. You'll see on the left side of the gauge cluster is the miles per hour. The tach is on the right side, and then right in the middle on the LCD screen, you'll see the fuel gauge on the left side with engine temperature on the right side. And then there's a lot of information that we can go through using buttons on the right side of the steering wheel. So by scrolling down, you can go to vehicle information, you can look at your TPMS along with the drive mode that you're in, any maintenance, you have your battery voltage and some other vitals to go through. So it's really nice to see that. There's also the driver assistance. You can look at your trip information and scroll through all of that. You can also go down to your engine start stop and view that. You have stored messages along with vehicle settings. And then making our way to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's covered in solid and perforated leather, has a really nice design to it. Just behind that, this also has column mounted paddle shifters, finished off in aluminum. They have a really nice design to them as well. Over on the right side, these were the controls I was using for that gauge cluster. You also have your voice commands and Bluetooth. And then on the left side, you have all of your cruise control settings, along with your driving assist as well. And then making our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see the engine start stop button, along with your headlight controls. There's some dimmer switches, and there's a little cubby down below if you'd like to place any items there. You'll see there's one air vent with more of that piano black. We have leather and stitching covering the entire dash. And then right in the middle, you'll see a clock surrounded by two air vents. And just below that, we have the all-new 10-inch screen. This is a very intuitive system to use, very easy to go through. You'll see on the bottom there are basically all the presets. So if I click on home, you'll see the navigation pop up on the left side, along with audio and your phone when that is paired. We can go back to the media. If you go into the comfort there, we can go through all of those climate controls. Just by turning it on, you can go through the temperature for driver and passenger. You can control where you'd like the air to go, sync them up. You can go to the rear adjustments. Very easy to be able to go through that. We can pull up the navigation in full screen. You have your phone when that is paired. If you go into vehicle, you can look at your engine start stop feature along with adjusting the rear sunshade. And let's go ahead and go into the camera system. So as I mentioned earlier, this has a 360-degree camera view. You have the top-down view on the left side right now, along with the rear view on the right. You can also bring that up in full screen along with the forward-facing camera, and also bring that up with the guidelines. So you have crystal clear visibility around this entire vehicle. And last up is apps. So you can go through this and view any of these that you like and you use the most. You can quickly get to them. Very intuitive system, and I like the new update. Just underneath that, you'll see all the climate controls. So if you're not in that system in the upper screen there, you can quickly get to them along with the temperatures. You have the fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. And then just underneath that, you'll see a small storage bin. This has wireless charging for your phone. So you can see you can place a phone in there. You have some auxiliaries on the left side. And then just behind that, you'll see the leather shifter. With my foot on the brake, we'll pull the release up front and we can go into reverse. You'll see the camera system pop up along with these side mirrors aiming down, which is a great touch to see. And then you can go all the way back into drive, pop it over into manual mode if you'd like to. And then to put it into park, you'll just click the P on the top. And then to the left of that, you'll see these row of buttons. We have traction control, your engine start stop feature. There's an ice mode, so you can utilize that in inclement weather. You also have sport mode, which will change the exhaust note, and then two different suspension settings between normal and sport. Just behind that, we have the electronic parking brake, and then you have some controls for the radio, so you can turn it on and off with the upper button. You have the volume just below that, along with scrolling on the lower dial, and then you have mute and being able to change AM, FM, and things like that. You'll also notice this entire console is finished off in more piano black. There are two cup holders over on the right side. And then there's a little bit of storage space just behind that. So you can open up this compartment, and then same with the center armrest. So you'll see it's finished off in leather. If we just push on this button, you can see there's a lot of storage space along with two cup holders and a 12 volt if you need to use those. We'll go ahead and take a look at the glove box now. This does have a split level design to it. So you can see you have plenty of room for all of your information that needs to go there. We'll go ahead and take one last look at the seats. And then as I mentioned earlier, this does have a sunroof, so we can open up that sunshade there. We have all the controls up in the center, along with being able to release the trunk. We have the rear sunshade adjustments, along with the dome lights. In the back seats now of the Quattroporte, I'm gonna start off with the ample amount of room that you get. At 5'10", you can see I have the front seat set at my height, with plenty of room for my knees and my feet, and I have about 2 or 3 inches above my head. These rear seats are also very comfortable. I love how they sink in, so it gives you some bolstering support on both sides, along with down on your thighs. It just makes it a very comfortable place to be. You'll also notice the door panel is finished off just like up front with the black and red stitching. We have a little bit of storage space behind both front seats with these nets here, 2 air vents in the center, and a little bit more storage space. So you have plenty of room for your backseat passengers. If you don't have someone in the middle though, you have this armrest here along with 2 cup holders and a little bit of storage space in the back, along with a 12 volt and a USB port. So that's really nice to see as well. And last up, we'll go ahead and take a look at the rear trunk storage space. I'm just gonna double tap the button on the key fob and the power trunk will automatically open up. You can of course walk up to it and push on that button as well. But you'll see with this open now, we have a nice flat surface, plenty of storage space for any items that you need to put back here. You'll see over on the passenger side, there is a net along with a 12 volt. And then up top on the power trunk lid, we can either close and lock the vehicle or just close it. So getting the 2021 Maserati Quattroporte S Gransport out on the road now. We are joined with Brian from Maserati Charlotte.
Hey guys.
He's gonna go over a few of the things that are different with the 21-year model. Why don't we start off with this new updated screen?
The new interface is fantastic. It's easy, it's quick.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's a quick setup too, unlike before.
Yeah, there's so much information that you can go through. It's very quick to the touch, and I love the angle of it too. There's not any glare. The sun is pretty bright today, so it's in a really good spot. And like I said, so much info.
And we have the sunroof open too, and it's not bouncing back on you.
Yeah, so it's a great size. You also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so if you want to pair your phone, there's actually a spot that I showed earlier to place your phone too. So if you want to put it there, it's not going to slide around or anything. But aside from that, I actually just finished driving the Ghibli, which is a little bit smaller than this. So essentially, it's the exact same car. In this, you get a little bit more leg room, a little bit bigger trunk maybe too.
It's more luxury oriented.
Yeah.
And obviously the wheelbase, the rear seat leg room. So the Trofeo will be the fastest 4-door.
Yeah.
When we get those, you guys will have to come back.
That'll be sweet to check out. So essentially this, but
580 horse. Little different suspension.
Yeah. And
a top speed of 203.
I don't think we'll hit that in the review, but that would be awesome to get out on the road.
Yeah, that would be a game changer.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as comparing this to the Ghibli, just a little bit bigger, like Brian said, a little bit more luxurious in a sense. We still have the sport mode button. We have the engine start stop feature, which will shut off at a light like we are right now, just to give you a little bit more MPG. We still have the suspension setting, which we'll test out here soon. But while we're at a stoplight, we can just talk about the overall visibility. It's really easy to see all around. I love the amount of glass that you have. And new for 21 is the 3D camera system.
Yes.
And I showed that, you guys saw that earlier. Very cool feature to see in a lot of cars. So in parking lot situations and things like that, you have a lot more visibility, which is of course really nice to see.
This is really just, I mean, it's so luxurious. The Ghibli is a little edgier.
Yeah.
But this is just a nice, big, comfortable sedan.
Yeah, I love how it rides so far. We'll get it out on this road here and really see with these suspension settings. But it's a very comfortable car. I love everything on the interior. This black leather with the red stitching everywhere is a really nice touch to see, especially with the exterior black. All right, so we'll go ahead, pop it over into sport mode here. We'll make the exhaust sound a little bit better from second gear here. Give it a little bit of gas. Still has the same pops as the Ghibli does, which sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And it's a big sedan.
Yeah.
And it gets up and goes.
Yeah. I didn't feel any lag in getting up to the speed of what we just did. And the paddles are equally as impressive. They're very smooth in the shifts. With that pop. It still gives you a sporty ride, which is nice. But I guess if you want more of that luxurious feeling ride, you can opt for this over the Ghibli. But you still have the suspension setting, which I don't feel like it's as stiff as the Ghibli.
No, it's a little softer.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that, especially driving them back to back as I'm doing in today's video. But that's really cool to be able to see. But I love these paddles. They're very large. It just gives you that added sportiness driving feel. And they're not too big. We have the turn signal stalk on the left side. It's still easy to get to. So they're not in the way or anything. It just gives you a really nice feel. All right, one last acceleration for today's video, getting onto the on-ramp. Those shifts are so quick.
And that sound.
Yeah. Even just a mild acceleration there, we are up to the speed limit just like that. So we can talk about cruising on the highway now. It's very quiet on the inside, very well insulated from the short driving that we've just done so far. But it seems to ride really good. Do you have highway experience in these cars?
Yeah, I do. They're wonderful touring cars and very quiet, very luxurious.
You can't even hear that Super Duty past us.
With the monster motors on.
Yeah. So very comfortable, very quiet if you're looking for a daily driver, which for the most part, this would be a great daily or your only vehicle. It's definitely well-rounded and versatile for people, storage, and just cruising. I think that's gonna wrap it up for our walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of the 2021 Maserati Quattroporte S Gransport. Once again, huge shout out to Maserati Charlotte and Brian for coming along on the ride. Definitely check out their website.
Always fun to have you guys.
It's
it
great.
Really is.
Yeah, it's great to be able to check out these vehicles, and they definitely have a huge selection to choose from. So if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on our daily uploads. We'll see you guys in the next video.